So, namaste everyone. Today I am actually forced to do a podcast with uh, with Siddharth Athaleji, who has been a Srividya Upasak himself and who has been studying Vedanta long term from me from some time. And he's from a traditional Smartha background, whose family, whose lineage is involved in Panchayatna Puja since a very, very long time. So I want him to address few misconceptions which is propagated by a person from Sri Vaishnav Sampradaya, not from any authorized matha, Ramanuj Math, but a self-declared Mathadish whose name is Chinnajiyar. So Chinnajiyar Swami, so who has passed some statements just 4 days back saying that Shankaracharya had not established the four mathas and the Panchayatna Puja was not given by him. And before Vidyaranya, none of it existed. And Vidyaranya Swami, only in 13th century, had established the four mathas and had given out the Panchayatna Puja. These were the accusations made by Chinnajiyar. So these accusations being of the nature of stupid, so that makes the person to because of because he made them. So with this background, I introduce Siddharthji. So Siddharthji, namaste, welcome. You can start.
Yeah, namaste to everyone. Uh, so Panchayatan Puja basically it's a very old practice in India in Sanatan Dharma. So and also many people, or I would say most of the people think that Adi Shankaracharya ji started this practice and then he propagated this, but that is not the case. So Panchayatan Puja was already there. Adi Shankaracharya ji used it to unite different sections of Hinduism that were prevalent that time. And using the Panchayatan Puja, he sort of brought unity among different sections. So I'll directly give Pramanas from some Puranas. So we definitely can agree that Puranas are much more older than when Vidyaranya Swami was there. So
Certainly. Yeah.
if Puranas have clear references to the word Panchayatana, to Panchayatan Puja Vidhi, and also the all the five deities which are worshipped as part of Panchayatana, so that makes it very clear that Panchayatan Puja was there in practice. So first I'll give a brief introduction why Panchayatan Puja was useful and why Adi Shankaracharya ji picked up this practice to promote. So in Sanatan Dharma, the Supreme Brahman manifests in many forms. Though Bhagavan Krishna never divided Hindus into sampradayas, but it did happen over a period of time. So then during the time of Adi Shankara, there were many sampradayas who were doing practices using their own deities, and sometimes they will change their Ishta Devata to someone else, and they will keep doing that. So in order to remove those impurities and to bring a routine in the daily practices, Adi Shankaracharya promoted Panchayatan Puja so that all the different sectors, mainly there were five, like Ganapatya were one who used to worship Ganpati as the supreme deity, then Shaiva who used to worship Shiva as the supreme deity, then Shakta Upasakas were there, then Vaishnavas, and then Saur people were there who used to worship Surya as uh, uh, the uh, the supreme deity. So what Panchayatan Puja brings is you can choose one Ishta Devata and then you can have four other Devatas and you can worship all of them, considering all of them as a manifestation or as a form of the Supreme Brahman. So there is no hierarchy there. So it is not like someone is above some other deity or something. It is just my liking is towards some deity, so I choose that deity, and then there is a specific arrangement that is done for Panchayatana. So in a plate, your Ishta Devata is kept in the middle, and then all the four deities in the four corners, and there is a specific arrangement. So based on which Devata comes in middle, based on that, all fours are arranged, and then those are worshipped. And even in Smarta Sampradaya, it is very common to change the Ishta Devata as well according to the festival or something. So if Mahashivratri comes, I can worship Shiva Panchayatana. And then when Navratri comes, I can worship Shakti Panchayatana. So because Smarta people don't have that Bheda Buddhi. So we know that Shakti is as much as a manifestation of the Supreme Brahman as Shivalinga is. So, and one more important aspect in Panchatan Puja was that there were no murtis. So there are stones, specific stones that are attributed to specific devtas. So for example, Shaligram is used for Vishnu, Sphatik is used for Surya, and for Ganpati, we use a stone called Shonabhadra stone, which is found in the Son River in UP. So it's a Sindur Varna, naturally in color. And then for Devi, we use Suvarnamukhi Shila, so which is found in a river in Andhra Pradesh. So we do not imagine the god in the form of a human or something. So we just use a stone, and using that stone, we want to uh, learn that the Supreme Brahman can manifest in any ways, like in a human form, in a stone form as well. So that was basically it. And then there are five devatas, so they're also related to Pancha Mahabhutas and their uh, like properties of Pancha Mahabhuta. So in that way, the teaching and learning is also become simple of Vedanta. So now I'll directly dive into the pramanas from some Puranas.
Okay.
So first pramana is from the Narada Puran, and in Narada Puran in the Adhyaya 65, these are the shlok 44 to 47. I hope it should be more clear now.
Yeah,
So,
it's now it's clear.
So here it has been described like how we should worship the five deities. So the 44th slok is Yada Madhye Yajed Vishnum Bahyadishu Vinayakam Ravim Shivam Shivam Chaiva Yada Madhye tu Shankaram. Then the next is Ravim Ganesham Ambam cha Harim Chat Yada Shivam Isham Vignarka Govindan Madhye Chet Gananayakam. Then the next is Shivam Shivam Ramim Vishnum Ravo Madhyagate Punah Ganesham Vishnum Ambam cha Shivam Cheti Yathakramam. And the final shlok is Evam Nitya Samabhyarchya Deva Panchaka Mahrita Brahme Muhurte Yuthaya Kritva Cha Vashakam Buddha. So the translation also given here. So when he worships Vishnu in the middle, then he shall worship Vinayaka, Ravi, Shiva, and Shiva. So Shiva is wife of Shiva, surrounding Vishnu on all four directions. So this Narad Puran clearly makes this instruction. Then he gives different type of orders. So when he worships Shankara or Shiva in the middle, then he shall worship other four deities surrounding Shiva on four sides. Similarly, you can worship Shakti in the middle and then other four deities surrounding. Similarly, Ganayaka and Ravi. And then it is said, thus practice the daily Nityarchana, that is puja procedure of worshipping five devas. Learn at once, wake up at Brahma Muhurta, early in the morning before sunrise, and perform the rituals. So next one we will take from Skanda Purana. So Skanda Purana, Khand 2, Kartik Mas Mahatmyam. This is Adhyay 3. And the Khand 2 is called Vaishnava Khanda. So in this Bhaskar Uvacha, अहम विष्णुश्च शर्वश्च देवी विघ्नेश्वरस्तथा एको हम पंचधा जातो नाट्य सूत्रधरो यथा अस्माकं सर्व एवैते भेदा विद्धि खगेश्वर तस्मात् सौरैश्च गाणेशैः शाक्तैः शैवैश्च वैष्णवैः कर्तव्यं कार्तिक स्नानं सर्वपापापनुत्तये सूर्यस्य प्रीतये कार्यं तुला संस्थे दिवाकरे. So this is an interesting shlok, because here it is said that though I am only one, I have become five, as in the case of a stage manager or controller of the play Sutradhara in the course of a play. So this is very much consistent with the Advaita Vedanta teaching.
इससे अद्वैत सिद्धि हो रहा है, ऐसा डायरेक्ट अद्वैत सिद्धि का वाक्य है.
Yes, yes. And in the next Pramanas, directly Shri Krishna would be saying in one of the Puranas these things.
Okay.
So yeah, basically here it is said that the Supreme Brahman is only one and it has become five. So
Yeah.
we can choose any one, and along with four others we can worship. So I will go to next.
Yeah.
So this third reference is from Padma Purana, Khand 6, Adhyay 88, and shlokas 43 to 41. Here, Shri Krishna Uvacha. शैवाः सौराश्च गाणेश वैष्णवाः शक्तिपूजकाः मामेव प्राप्नुवन्तिः वर्षाभः सागरं यथा एकोऽहं पञ्चधा जातः क्री क्रीडयन्नामभिः किल देवदत्तो यथा कश्चित् पुत्राद्याह्वान नामभिः. So here Shri Krishna says that just as rainwater flows towards the sea or ocean, Shaivas, Sauras, Ganeshas, Vaishnavas and Shakti worshippers come to me only. And in the next verse it is, I am to one who manifests in 5 forms and play with names just as Devadatta calls his sons, etc. with various names. So this is like a very stunning shloka for all those, because this directly Bhagavan Shri Krishna is saying this. And also some explanations given here. Then in this shloka, he is also calling out to Vaishnava. So like Vishnu born from Vishnu, this type of meaning can be taken. So then as per Smarta and Advaita, it is the formless Vishnu which manifests as Chaturbhaja Vishnu. And Vaishnavas take it in a different way. So yeah, so
So
basically,
here I want to say one thing, that that earlier you have quoted from Skanda Purana and Narada Purana,
yeah,
which obviously this clan called Sri Vaishnava. See, I'm deliberately using the word clan because a modern day clan we have ISKCON, which is a cult, and an ancient cult clan is Sri Vaishnava. Both are a clan only. Both have hateful agendas. Both go against the Pramana. And if you quote references from Skanda Purana or Narada Purana or any Purana, they will just say this is not Pramana for us. I've even seen that some Upanishads they don't say it is Pramana for us. Now, what is Pramana for you? See, Pramana here, you don't have a will where you cherry pick Pramana. Oh, this Pramana is for me. It doesn't go against me. So then this is Pramana for me. So this Purana is Pramana for me. So the main reason why Sri Vaishnavas don't consider, so this book in my hand, so this is Vishnu Purana. So Vishnu Purana has to be paramount if someone is a Vaishnava. So I call out to sincere Hindus who are jignasus, who want to understand what Sanatana Dharma is about, what Shastra is about, what really God is, how God reveals himself. Is Hinduism paganism? So Westerners, Western religions, Western philosophies, they have been attacking us saying you are pagan. And paganism will be proved if someone pushes form fanatic ideas and proves them to be para. So here the main problem comes when Panchayatana is dismissed. So Panchayatana is dismissed and said to be a later invention. The whole agenda is to prove that Vishnu is Para. Or Chinnajiyar Swami said that, I don't even want to address him as Swami because he uttered such ridiculous, stupid statements, like sounded like a buffoon in front of audience. And it's not first time he has done that. He has done this previously also, saying Ramanuja is a guru of Venkateswara Swami. I don't know who told him that. Maybe Ramanuja came in his dreams and revealed this, what we don't know. But coming back with the present day scenario statements, अभी उन्होंने बोला कि शंकराचार्य है परम वैष्णव, है ना?
yeah,
और श्रुति में भी आता है तद विष्णु परमम पदम. तो अभी हम कठोपनिषद पढ़ रहे हैं, तद विष्णु परमम पदम, कम दिन कठोपनिषद, तद विष्णु परमम पदम. अभी पदम का अर्थ ये नहीं है कि वैकुंठ है, ये आपने कोरिलेट किया है. अब
yes,
विष्णु चतुर्भुज विष्णु नहीं है, वो भी आपने कोरिलेट किया है. And any thinking person of this age clearly knows that correlation doesn't amount to causation.
yes,
And there is a scenario where correlation is causation when the parameter is greater than 0.6. And in this verse, which is apparently coming from a Satvika Purana. So Vaishnava will say Satvika Purana, Padma Purana,
yes,
भागवत पुराण. देखो भैया, अब यही सात्विक पुराण है. सात्विक पुराण शिव केशव में अभेद बता रहा है. और विष्णु को निराकार बता रहा है, और निराकार विष्णु से ही साकार विष्णु चतुर्भुज विष्णु उत्पन्न हुआ है। तो ये तो शास्त्र साफ साफ प्रमाण वाक्य है। तो आप बोलेंगे ये नहीं, इसको ऐसा नहीं समझना है, ठीक है। नारायण सूक्तम, वेद वेद में आता है। नारायण सूक्तम रिवील्स विष्णु नारायण एज अंतर बहिश्च तत्सर्वम व्याप्य नारायण स्थितः। पुरुष सूक्तम रिवील्स पुरुष एज पुरुष एव इदम सर्वम। Nowhere this Purusha Sukta or Narayana Sukta reveals a form, four-handed form to be Param.
Yes.
So we understand what Vishnu really is. So Bhagavan Bhashyakar Adi Shankaracharya Jagadguru starts his Gita Bhashya by saying Narayana Paraha. तो नारायण परहा तो श्री वैष्णव बोलता है कि शंकराचार्य तो वैष्णव है। And people like Vidyaranya and Appaya Dikshita have interpolated the Sampradaya, have superimposed Shaiva views on the Sampradaya, and they made Sampradaya Shaiva. I've heard one buffoon say that ये तो ऊर्ध्व पुंड लगाते थे, और अपय दीक्षिता एंड विद्यारण्य के वजह से they have started putting bhasma. So this is the kind of idiocy, this is the kind of buffoonery we find in Sri Vaishnava circles. I'm not saying all Sri Vaishnavas are like that, because I have contacts, close contacts with people who are born in that family and then who uphold that in their own places and who find Chinnajiyar very weird, who find his statements weird, and then who support me on my cause, saying that you are the only one who's speaking up to him nowadays the way he needs to, the way he deserves. And then this is what it is. So बोलो अभी नारायण पर है, उसमें हम ही बोल रहे हैं नारायण पर है। वासुदेव सर्वम, सब कुछ वासुदेव है। Now we are not saying that four-handed form is everything, because if you say four-handed form is everything, इधर परिच्छिन्न फोर-हैंडेड फॉर्म, अभी फॉर्म का बात होता है तो इधर परिच्छिन्नत्व आता है। परिच्छिन्नत्व मीन्स लिमिटेशन। सो देयर इज स्पेस वाइज लिमिटेशन। दैट मीन्स दिस बुक इज अ फॉर्म। अभी जो बुक इधर मेरे हाथ में है वो आपके हाथ में नहीं है, जो बुक इधर है वो दूसरा रूम में नहीं है। तो दिस इज देश परिच्छिन्नत्व, काल परिच्छिन्नत्व। सो जो भगवान अभी नहीं है, पहले था, पहले जो था अभी नहीं है। So there is Kala Parichinnatvam. And next there is Vastu Parichinnatvam. So the form which is there and then Sarvam is there. How can both be the same? So Vasudeva Sarvame, when Bhagavad Gita says Vasudeva Sarvam, then Vasudeva doesn't mean four-handed Vishnu. Vishnu, when Purusha Suktam is saying Purushe Vedam Sarvam, four-handed Vishnu is not Sarvam. When Narayana Suktam clearly reveals Antar Bahishya Tat Sarvam Vyapya Narayana Sthitaha. It is your maudhyam through which you have concluded Prakriti alag hai, Jeev alag hai, Narayana, four-handed Narayana alag hai. वो आपने बताया, वो तो शास्त्र नहीं बता रहा है। तो शास्त्र is not pramana for you, because you don't look at Shastra as Pramana, therefore you conclude the way you conclude. And when we quote Shastra as Pramana, then you say that's not Pramana for us. देखिए Padma Puran, Satvika Puran, I have quoted Veda. How are you going to counter Veda? And then Shvetashvatar Upanishad clearly says, Eko Devaha, Sa Brahma, Sa Vishnu, Sa Rudraha. So एक ही देव है, वही रुद्र है, वही ब्रह्मा है, वही विष्णु है। ये शास्त्र ये नहीं बोला कि विष्णु है, विष्णु से रुद्र और ब्रह्मा है, ऐसा नहीं बताया। एक ही ईश्वर है। एंड भगवद गीता 13 चैप्टर क्लियरली सेज अनादित्वात् निर्गुणत्वात् परमात्मा अयम अव्ययः, परमात्मा निर्गुण है। तो इसको क्या क्या करोगे? सो मोस्ट ऑफ द वैष्णव कमेंटेटर्स स्पेंड अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम जस्ट टू प्रूव दैट दिस डजंट मीन दिस। तो परमात्मा निर्गुण है, ये तो भगवद गीता वचन है। तो जाके देखिए रामानुजाचार्य, मध्वाचार्य ने और the modern day commentators, how they go on and on to cover that. So they spend most of the time not to understand Shastra but to cover up. अभी इधर भी देखिए, So the whole job they do is this doesn't mean this. हम हमारे पद्धति में ये तो एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे, बस उनका यही है. So this is what we find funny about this sampradaya. What is there in Shastra, they don't accept. So this same Chinajir Swami has told that in Ramayana, Rama did not worship Rameshwara. In Rameshwara, Rama did not worship Shiva. हमने स्कंद पुराण से उठा के बताया प्रमाण, हमने रामायण वाल्मीकि रामायण से बताया प्रमाण. एतत् कुक्षौ समुद्रस्य स्कंदावर निवेशनम तत्र पूर्वम महादेव प्रसादम अकरोत् प्रभु. महादेव प्रभु राम जी को प्रसाद दिया था. तो ये तो वाल्मीकि रामायण है. रामचरितमानस में तुलसीदास goes on and on in presenting how Rama worships Rameshwar Shivlinga, and then he goes on to present Harihara Abheda.
Yeah.
So Harihara Abheda is just the topic of Shastra. Not just Harihara Abheda, Hari Jagat Abheda. So Jiva Ishwara Abheda, Jiva Ishwara Abheda, Jiva Jagat Abheda. Abheda is the content of Shastra. तो इनको वो पसंद नहीं है क्योंकि पंचरात्र पे निष्ठा है. तो अगर निष्ठा पंचरात्र में है तो शास्त्र पकड़ना ही क्यों है, और ऐसा मूर्ख बात क्यों करना है.
Yeah.
And then we are living in a times when Hinduism has to go forward as one unit. And if people like this come out and just talk stupid things, then they are just अपने ही पैर पे खुलाड़ी मार रहे हैं. तो ऐसा हो जाएगा ना. तो इनको जब इनका क्या है, उनका परिचय थोड़ा देता हूं आपको. इनको जब पैसा चाहिए तो झोला लेके जाते हैं, हम सनातनी हैं, हमको पैसा दे दो. तो सबका पैसा डाल लेते हैं. एंड पैसा मीन्स आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट जस्ट लैक्स और सिंगल डिजिट क्रोर्स. He has collected nearly 10,000 crores of Hindus' money till now. So he has had a career of 40 years. In his 40 years career, he has collected more than 10,000 crores. On just this Murti of Ramanuja, he has spent 1,500 crores. किसका पैसा है? वैष्णव का पैसा नहीं है, हिंदू का पैसा है. उसमें शिव भक्त है, उसमें कार्तिकेय जी का भक्त है, माता जी के भक्त है, उसमें हनुमान जी के भक्त है. आपको कट्टर वैष्णव ने पैसा नहीं दिया. अगर कट्टर वैष्णव भी आप है, आपको वही सिद्ध करना है तो कट्टर वैष्णव के पास ही जाके पैसे पूछिए ना. क्यों झोला लेके हिंदू के पास, हिंदू के घर जाते हैं और बोलते हैं हम सनातनी है. अगर सनातनी है तो पंचायतन का धिक्कार क्यों कर रहे हैं? Because see, Panchayatana, there's one propaganda that Panchayatana is brought out by Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya, unlike any other Vaishnavacharyas or any other sectarian acharyas, doesn't have his own matam. आप बोलेंगे फिर अद्वैत किसका मत है? अद्वैत श्रुति का मत है, वेद का मत है. पुरुष एव सर्वम नारायण परः वासुदेव सर्वम. तो शास्त्र बोल रहा है केवल वासुदेव है. ये लोग ने पकड़ लिया, नहीं मैं जीव हूं, मैं वो वासुदेव को अनुभव करना चाहता हूं. वो आपका प्रॉब्लम है. शास्त्र बोल रहा है केवल ईश्वर है. वो जो समझता है वो अद्वैती है. So this is your problem. So so this kind of things we see. So when he wants money, he goes and begs Hindus. He has looted Hindus' money. So if he's sitting on 10,000 crores of Hindus' money, that doesn't that and then he passes radical statements, then that shows what his character is.
Yeah, surely.
So Panchayatana Puja is not Adi Shankaracharya's invention. It is directly from Pramana which Siddharji has revealed today. And then Panchayatana Puja is from Adi Shankaracharya. This is not, these Puranas were there even before Adi Shankaracharya. These Puranas
Yes.
were there even before Vidyaranya. So now Siddharji, I have spoken. Please carry on.
Yeah. So here one more thing is there that Shri Krishna is saying, and then he is saying that he has become Vishnu as well among all the deity. So now ISKCON takes this as कि कृष्ण का अवतार विष्णु है, विष्णु का अवतार कृष्ण है, ये those type of things. So they take it literally कि श्री कृष्ण है तो he is a human form, and from that human form Vishnu is born. So Shri Krishna is on the top and then Vishnu. Because here this has to be connected with the Bhagavad Gita. So in Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna clearly says that he is a Nirgun Nirakar, like Yena Sarvam Idam Tatam. So if you connect that, then here Shri Krishna is saying in as a Supreme Brahman, that from Supreme Brahman, these five forms have come out, and including Vishnu. So, yeah, moving on to the next. So, this is from the Skanda Purana. In this, the word Panchayatan has come clearly. So, in the verse 15, this is from Khanda 6 called Nagar Khand and Adhyaya 255. So, here they have described like what we get by doing the puja of different deities of Panchayatana. So Varsha Kale cha samprapte bhakti yoge janardane maheshware tha durgayam na bhuyas tanapo bhavet. गणेशस्य सदा कुर्यात् चातुर्मास्य विशेषतः पूजां मनुष्यो लाभार्थम यत्नो लाभप्रदो हि सः सूर्यो निरोगतां दद्या भक्त्या यैः पूज्यते हि सः चातुर्मास्य समायाते विशेष फलदो नृणाम् इदं हि पंचायतनं सेव्यते ग्रह मेधिभिः चातुर्मास्य विशेषेण सेवितं चिंतितप्रदम्. Sorry. So here during Chaturmas, what puja should be done by a grahastha is talked about. So different like phalas are talked about. So if you worship Vishnu, you get bhakti, and if you worship Shiva and Durga, then it results into not having rebirth. And we should worship Ganesha, especially in Chaturmas. This puja is beneficial as Ganesha is known to shower grace and boons. Then Surya has always been considered to destroy the diseases. So people worship Surya for that purpose. So basically, Phalishruti is there because it has been told for the householders. So these are the fulfilling, like wish fulfilling devatas. But the summary is that Panchayatan word clearly has come in the Skanda Purana. So we cannot say that Panchayatan
Yeah.
has been derived later on by any acharya. So moving on to next. This is from Padma Purana, Khanda 3. So here Narad Muni is telling about the Panchayatana. So here we won't go into the detail, but yeah, simply Narad Muni is saying again Panchayatan word has come in the Shlok 3.4.2. So Narad Muni is saying there this pure linga, which is evidence the Omkara is beautiful. By merely remembering it, one is liberated from all sins. Then he says the superior knowledge of Panchayatana is the best amongst all knowledges. It is served by sages in Varanasi for liberation. And next, he will say the Vigraha, like consecrated Murti idol of Panchayatana, is verily Mahadeva himself. So the worship of these five devatas delights Bhagavan Rudra, who grants liberation or apavarga to all beings. Then this shloka is interesting. So yeah, this one is the knowledge of Pashupata is known as Panchayatana. It is verily the pure linga of Omkara that is present in form of these five devatas. So again, this is going to culminate in Omkara, and then Omkara signifies the Supreme Brahman. So then it connects to the Mandukya Upanishad directly. So here the word Pashupata has come. So again, some people might be saying that Pashupata was a different sampradaya and all. But after some time, we'll see some archaeological evidences. So from like 300 BC or that time, we found some lingas, Shiva lingas, which have all the five forms on the lingas itself. So
Okay.
many scholars and historians have derived the meaning that Shiva is they considered as Supreme Brahman, and all forms manifest just like not just manifest from the Supreme Brahman, but dwell in the Supreme Brahman, like they reside in the Brahman itself. So there is a linga, and on the linga there are all the forms. So linga is the abode of all the forms, and also the manifestation happens from the linga. So that type of mata was the Pashupata very during ancient days. So
No,
that
this
Pashupata
actually
is required.
makes sense because when we study Bhagavad Gita, then we hear Bhagavan Krishna referring himself to as Ishwar. And
Yeah.
whenever we address a Shivalinga Kshetra, we say it is Ishwar Kshetra.
Yes.
Like you say, this is Rameshwara. So like that, we address that as Ishwar only. ऐसा हम specifically शिवा नहीं कहते हैं, कभी कभी नहीं कहते, most of the times we don't refer it as Shiva, but it's the Ishwar. Or what you have said is that we have got evidences from archaeology that जो शिवलिंग में 5 दिखते हैं तो वो लिंग ईश्वर का है. सो ईश्वर का लिंग माने चिन्ह. वो ईश्वर जब सर्वव्यापी है, उनका चिन्ह है वो लिंग. क्योंकि वो लिंग का आकार कुछ नहीं रहता है, वही निराकार है. और उसमें हम 5 देवता देखते हैं.
Yes.
So this actually synthesizes the Sanatan Dharma, the view of Sanatan Dharma actually. So brilliant. Please go ahead.
So this shloka is interesting. So Shantyatita tatha Shantir Vidya Chaiva Para Vara Pratishtha cha Nivrittischa Panchatmam Lingam Aishwaram. So here the word apara has come, cha eva apara. And this apara directly connects to the Bhagavad Gita 7.4 and 7.5, where the Prakriti has been described. So para and apara Prakriti. So all these Puranas directly correlates with the Upanishadic teaching or the Shruti Pramana as well as the Bhagavad Gita. So in isolation, if someone sees that, he can take some incorrect meaning or something, but in totality, when you see along with Bhagavad Gita and along with Upanishads, it is just telling the same Advait Jnana in a more accessible way.
Yeah.
Now in the Devi Bhagavata also, Panchayatan Puja clearly has been told, and Devi Bhagavata also gives some more details, like which mantra to use for which devata, and so the ritual has been elaborated in Devi Bhagavatam.
Okay.
So again, this verse is, one should perform Panchayatana Puja, which includes the worship of Shiva, the wife of Shiva, Ganpati, Surya, and Vishnu, and diligently chant Purusha Suktam mantras along with contemplating on its meaning, or chant Mula mantras like Bija mantras having the word Hri. So because this is Devi Bhagavata, so some tantric references also comes here. So, but yeah, clearly it is talking about Panchayatan Puja, and it also says that it should be done after morning Sandhya has been a morning Sandhya, and Agnihotra has been done. So this is also connecting with the Vedic rituals.
Okay.
So yeah, this is some detail. Then in the Shiva Purana also, there are a lot of details about Panchayatan Puja. Only there is a slight difference that Shiva Purana describes that the linga should be made of clay and then it should be worshipped. So yeah, but again, it describes all the 5 deities, and it says that always we should worship these 5 deities. 5 forms of Bhagavana: Ganesha, Surya, Vishnu, Amba or Devi, and Shiva. And here it also says that even the Shiva's Murti can be worshipped, and however, a Brahmana shall always worship Shiva in his Linga form. Others can worship in Murti form as well.
Okay.
So now this reference is from Vishnu Purana, but this personally I haven't checked. But this reference was given by the Shankaracharya of the Dwarka Peeth, the previous Shankaracharya, Swami Swarupanand, and he had written an article in a Visheshank of Kalyan, which is published from Gita Press. So in that he has given this shloka.
Okay.
So this shloka says that Ganesh is my Jnana, Arka, that is Surya, is my eyes, Shiva is my Atma, and Adya, that is Devi, is my Shakti. And so this means all these powers are one. And
Vishnu Bhagavan is saying this.
Vishnu Bhagavan is saying Vishnu Purana. And the one who distinguishes them as different actually makes me Vishnu as without limbs. So Mama Angahinam Kalayanti Mandaha, this word is used.
So this is the answer when people ask why there are so many sampradayas. तो देख लीजिए, आंसर तो साफ विष्णु पुराण में है.
So they have broken the limbs of Vishnu and then created the sampradayas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the original article which was published in the Kalyan Visheshank of Gita Press. So here this shloka has been quoted by Jagadguru Shankaracharya, Swami Sri Swarupanand Saraswati Ji Maharaj.
Okay.
So yeah, now if we check some historical evidences, so there are many Panchayatan temples in India. So some are in the ruin form and some are still being worshipped. So these are the prominent temples currently we can see. So there is this Sri Deva Vyadeshwar temple in Guhagar. So Guhagar is a town in Konkan region of Maharashtra. This temple is considered very old. Like from the temple records and all, they say this is 2000 years old temple. And this is a proper Panchayatan temple. So in the middle we have a Shiva shrine, and all on four sides we have like Ganapati, Devi, Surya and Vishnu shrines as well. Then there is this Kandariya Mahadev temple in Khajuraho. This is very famous one because Khajuraho is the UNESCO World Heritage Site, and these temples have some erotic sculptures outside, so many foreigners visit them. So this is also a Panchayatan temple. So in the middle we have Shiva temple, and all four sides four other temples. Then interesting one is the this Dashavatar temple in Devgarh. So this is in a ruins currently. So this is not in this thing. So this temple, they have like very historians have established and archaeologists that this temple is from 5th or 6th century Gupta period temple, and this is also has a proper Panchayatan style structure.
Hmm.
So this is like an established fact because there are more temples which are like first century CE, but again those are some accounts, those are like questionable. But this one is well established by all the archaeologists that this is 5th century temple with a Panchayatan architecture. So if in 5th century people were building temples with Panchayatan architecture, that means they were knowing about Panchayatana and then they
Yeah.
were worshipping.
And then that points out that Ramanuja was from the 11th century. And then
Yeah,
5th century का टेम्पल है तो रामानुज से 600 years का पहले का बात कर रहे हैं हम.
yes, correct.
And
That
then
too,
which
the
is,
established one. Otherwise, there are many other structures as well which shows
yeah.
Panchayatana style architecture, but we are just taking which has been well established.
See here, Chinnajiyar, to point out one special feature about him, he has been wrong about history always. It's not the first time. See, उन्होंने बोला था कि रामेश्वर शिवलिंग, सी he always talks without proofs. That's another specialty of him. So to all his bhaktas, who are living in US or other countries, because he keeps visiting US with his being a Dandi Swami, वो तो यूएस जाते रहते हैं बहुत फ्रीक्वेंट, क्योंकि उधर भी कलेक्शन करना है ना, वो तो कलेक्शन का हब है. तो जाके झोला लेके सनातनी बोल के सनातनी के नाम पे पूरा ये सब करना है, पैसे लूटना है लोगों का. तो हाउ इलॉजिकल दिस पर्सन इज, ऑलवेज टॉक्स विदाउट एविडेंस. अभी इन्होंने परसों भी जो बात किया था ना, कुछ आधार नहीं बताया, बस ऐसे बकलो, बस
Yeah,
बक लिया, बस ऐसे हो गया. तो इन्होंने पहले भी बताया था कि रामेश्वर शिव जी के बारे में, कि रामेश्वर लिंग ना 500 साल पहले का मंदिर है. देखिए, 500 साल पहले का मंदिर को हम ज्योतिर्लिंग नहीं कहते हैं, क्योंकि Tanjore में Tanjore Brihadeshwara temple built by the great Rajaraja Chola. That Tanjore Brihadeshwara temple में शिवलिंग है, and that temple was built when Ramanuja was born, 100 years before Ramanuja was born. And that temple is not considered Shivlinga,
yeah,
whereas Rameshwar temple is considered Shivlinga, is considered Jyotirlinga.
Jyotirling.
So he's been wrong about history. He's been very well known to make stupid statements, talking without proofs, and proving himself to be a clown. तो हियर ये भी आप जो बात कर रहे हैं, तो मंदिर में उनको जाके देखना पड़ेगा कि इंस्टेड ऑफ गोइंग टू beg always and then ask for money, so being so obsessed about money, so I think some grihasthas, most of the grihasthas are far better than Chinnajir, because they don't have that kind of an obsession with money. दे आर सेटिस्फाइड, भाई 1 लाख महीने का या 50,000 हम कमा लेंगे, हम धर्म से जिएंगे. हम क्या शौक है, हम वो पैसे से हम खरीद लेंगे, हम गाड़ी खरीदना है खरीद लेंगे, घर चला लेंगे. बट ऐसा दूसरे का पैसे से अय्याशी करके ये मूर्ख बातें कोई गृहस्थी नहीं करता है, जैसा चिन्हजियर कर रहा है. सो फर्स्ट आई थिंक इंस्टेड ऑफ गिविंग दिस काइंड ऑफ अ बेसलेस ज्ञान टू अस, so he should be educated about dharma first. So how to become dharmic.
Yeah.
तो ये भी अपना हिस्ट्री है। सो आप जो बता रहे हैं इतने मंदिर हैं जो पंचायतन फॉलो करते हैं, तो आप उनका रेफरेंसेस क्यों नहीं लेते हैं बिफोर पासिंग सच स्टेटमेंट? सो विद्यारण्य स्वामी ही हिमसेल्फ टोल्ड 13th century के आचार्य हैं। अभी 13th century के आचार्य तो ही डिड नॉट क्रिएट ऑल दीज टेम्पल्स इन 5th century and 6th century. So you have pointed that point out.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. So you have told गुरु जी अभी इतने मंदिर है तो ये तो विद्यारण्य जी ने नहीं स्थापित किया।
Unless he traveled back in time and then created those temples and then कुछ
हाँ
टाइम
जी, ये
ट्रेवल
सब पुराण
करके।
वाक्य तो उन्होंने नहीं लिखा।
या
आप तो गीता प्रेस जाके देख लीजिए, ये तो ओरिजिनल प्रिंट्स है ये सब। तो ये है इनका थोड़ा अवैदिक का लक्षण है, ये संप्रदाय में स्पेसिफिकली देखा गया है, ये अवैदिक लक्षण कहलाता है। सो एस्पेशली इफ यू रेफर टू द ब्रह्म सूत्र 2 to 42 सूत्र, in that section before and after also many sects are addressed. लाइक 2 to 42 से पहले ये पाशुपत वालों को एड्रेस किया है वेद व्यास जी ने। 2 to 42 से ये वैष्णव को एड्रेस किया है, जो पंचरात्र के अनुसार जीते हैं, जो पंचरात्र को मानते हैं। सो पाशुपत का भी खंडन हुआ है कि अगर पाशुपत लोग ये पंचायतन के अनुसार, ये पुराण का, पुराण श्रुति स्मृति पुराण के अनुसार अगर नहीं मान रहे हैं, अगर उनके विपरीत जा रहे हैं, तो वो भी अवैधिक ही है। अगर पंचरात्र को पकड़ के आप वेद का निंदा करते हैं, उपनिषद का ज्ञान का निंदा करते हैं, देन आप भी अवैधिक ही है। उत्पत्ति असंभवात, यह है सूत्र। सूत्र उत्पत्ति असंभवात में यह साक्षात बताया गया है कि चतुर्भुज विष्णु से बलराम या संकर्षण, प्रद्युम्न, अनिरुद्ध, इन लोगों का उत्पत्ति नहीं हुआ है। ये संकर्षण, प्रद्युम्न, अनिरुद्ध, they represent जीवास, प्रकृति and all that, whatever they have this kind of imagery. So वेद व्यास जी clearly says उत्पत्ति का संभव नहीं है। एक नारायण से ऐसा उत्पत्ति नहीं होता है। तो प्रूविंग दैट उपनिषद whatever it said stands. A sectarian booklet cannot influence, which has creeped into Bhagavad, and then from that which they squeeze out the Siddhanta, the Pancharatric Siddhanta. This cannot negate the Vedika, Veda born knowledge.
यस
तो वेद का वाक्य है एको देवहा सर्वव्यापी सर्वभूतांतरात्मा स ब्रह्मा स विष्णु स रुद्रहा। कोई पुराण वाक्य में सत्ता नहीं है जो वेद वाक्य का खंडन करे। अगर पंचरात्रिक वो मानता है तो वो अवैधिक है।
यस
So the greatness of Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya ji is, let's put our differences aside. We don't have a fanatic attitude towards worship, which is a pagan attitude. A pagan attitude is a form fanatic attitude. But we are worshipping through a form. तो फॉर्म बनता है लिंग, तो वो लिंग से हम परमात्मा का आराधन कर रहे हैं। तो वी आर नॉट पेगन। तो पेगन्स आर, दिस इज हाउ द अब्राहमिक पीपल हैव इन्वेडेड एवरीवेयर। तो उनका स्ट्रैटेजी है। तो दे विल ब्रैकेट यू एज पेगन एंड देन दे विल dismiss you and they will say ours is a superior religion where we talk about one god, equality and all that. Whereas in Sanatan Dharma we worship variety. There is nothing equal about anything. Two hands are not equal, two eyes are not equal, there's nothing equal in anything. ये द्वैतवाद नहीं है, ये दिस इज हाउ व्यवहार इज। व्यवहार में नाना तो है। शंकराचार्य जी ने ये नहीं कहा, वो जो कह रहा है कि शंकराचार्य ने ऐसा कहा वो मूर्ख है। और वो मूर्ख बात है कि शंकराचार्य जी बोल रहे कुछ भी नहीं है। शंकराचार्य ये नहीं बोले कि व्यवहार नहीं है, बट व्यवहार तो ईश्वर है। ये पूरा व्यवहार का सत्ता विष्णु है, ये शंकराचार्य ने बताया। तो शंकराचार्य परम वैष्णव है क्योंकि विष्णु सच में निर्गुण है, परमात्मा अयम अव्यय। और ये संप्रदाय जो ये कट्टरपंथी कर रहा है, जो विष्णु शिव में भेद कर रहा है, जो विष्णु को दूषण कर रहा है, दिस इज नॉट प्रो हिंदू, दिस इज एंटी हिंदू, एंटी वैदिक,
Yes.
because you are attacking our own Sanatan Dharma. Whereas our Paddhati, we celebrate multiplicity of devatas. The fact being there's only one Lord, but इष्ट देवता के रूप में कोई भी any form which is Shastrajanya becomes upasya for us.
Yes.
So we don't have that kind of a hatred for any form, like Abrahamic or like pagan. This is Sanatan Dharma. So this was never the attitude. So it is our Guru, Pujya Swami Dayananda Saraswati ji, who had written the manifesto of Vishwa Hindu Parishad. His Guru Swami Chinmayanand ji had played a very big role, has been a very big support during Atalji's time, before Atalji. So for this, for BJP, for RSS, for Hindus to unite. And today we are living in the sad time when we ourselves, being followers of such exalted people, have to take a stand for our sampradaya
Yeah.
within Sanatan Dharma. This is a sad state because we have foolish people who are in a position of authority spreading propaganda. नो, इधर एक क्वेश्चन आता है कि हम शास्त्र पढ़े हैं, हम शास्त्र पढ़ाते हैं, हमको इसके सिवा कुछ पता नहीं है, राइट? बट whereas we see in a person like Chinajir, अब ये शास्त्र पढ़ा नहीं है, ये शास्त्र पढ़ाता भी नहीं है। अभी आप पूछोगे से फिर ये कैसा बन गया Chinajir, स्वामी कैसा बन गया ये? तो his grandfather or someone in his family had pushed him into this whole thing. He was interested in enjoying life, बहुत मौज मस्ती करता था, तो उसको पकड़ के इसमें घुसा दिया। तो ये पढ़ा नहीं है, ये खुद श्री भाष्य नहीं पढ़ा है, ये रामानुज का गीता भाष्य नहीं पढ़ा है, कोई उपनिषद भी नहीं पढ़ा। यू सी ऑल इस प्रवचन he'll be quoting something, ये वो पूरा कहानियां सुनाता है, चिड़िया थी, ये थी, व्याघ्र था, ये था, वो था, वो कुछ भी। और शिव जी ऐसे है, शिव जी का मूर्ति नहीं लगाना है मंदिर में, ये पूरा सिखाता है, ये पूरा रूल्स देता है। देखिए, एक आचार्य कब आचार्य बनते हैं? जब वो पढ़ाते हैं। अब ये पढ़ाता नहीं है, he is only pushing, fueling hate in people. So you hate others, hate others. Now this is a strategy. When it boils on why is he doing this? This is a strategy. ये क्या है? Offense is the best form of defense. ये
Yeah.
डिफेंस क्या है? Now he has to cover that he doesn't know. इसको अष्टाध्यायी नहीं आता है, व्याकरण, संस्कृत व्याकरण नहीं पढ़ा है, इसका कुछ अनुष्ठान भी नहीं है, ऐसे पूरा ढोंग करता है, वो डंडी पकड़ के कुछ करता ही नहीं है। वो पॉलिटिशियन के पास जाता है, उसको छूने देता है, उसको हक करता है, उसको शेक हैंड देता है, सब करता है। एक कॉमन लोगों को बोलता है गच्चा गच्चा, जैसा हम सुनते हैं चांद डाला गच्चा गच्चा, ये बोलता है गच्चा गच्चा, दूर रहो, बैठ जाओ, उधर ही बैठ जाओ। खुद को शंकराचार्य का होता मानता है, जैसा शंकराचार्य के पास कैसा रहते हैं, वो बैठे हुए रहते हैं, वो अलग बैठते हैं, तो ही फील्स लाइक दैट। बट whereas his पीठम is not really पीठम, in fact it has no trace with Ramana Sampradaya. He is a self-declared person and is promoting hatred for Sanatan Dharma itself. So देखो, so why he does all this buffoonery? Let's understand. He doesn't have subject and he has investments of people. Now all the time he has to prove himself, I know, without knowing. तो इनसे पहले कोई इनको क्वेश्चन करे, गुरुजी आपने क्या पढ़ाया और आप क्या पढ़ा रहे हैं, तो ये पहले ही दूसरे को गाली दे देता है। तो इनका बस ये स्ट्रैटेजी, क्लीन सिंपल स्ट्रैटेजी। तो हम सही नहीं करेंगे बट हम बोलेंगे कि आप गलत हैं। So this is how now he is in his 70th year of his life. This is how since his 20th year, अभी तो 70, तो 50 साल से इसका strategy वही है। In his ashram, which he has built, so he's sitting on a 10,000 crore empire. There is not one person who knows Sri Bhashya, who knows what Ramanuja had done, his Ramanuja's performance in third chapter Bhashya, in at least Gita Bhashya, पूरा गीता भाष्य को कुछ नहीं पता है। ऑल हिज इनर सर्कल जो भी इसकी तरह रेडी होते हैं ना, तो जो पूरा उत्तरीयम और पंच पहन के इतना नामम पूरा टैटू टैटू वो सब डाल के रहते हैं ना, कोई पूरा पंगनाम डाल के पूरा बॉडी में, किसी को कुछ नहीं आता है। हम पूजा पद्धति के बारे में बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, Then Ramanuja should write about Puja Paddhati. Why did he comment on Bhagavad Gita? Why did he comment on Brahma Sutra? Why did he comment on Upanishad? If he
Yeah.
commented on that, then you should study that. Instead of spending people's money, Hindus' money, instead of looting them, you teach that. अब वो पढ़ाने के लिए क्या पैसे लगेगा? आदमी क्या सोना खाएगा क्या? खाने के लिए बस 2 रोटी चाहिए, इतना चावल चाहिए, आदमी जी लेगा. So this reveals that he doesn't know anything. He has not done anything for Ramanuja Sampradaya. If someone has done for Ramanuja Sampradaya, they are the ones who teach what Ramanuja taught without flaring up hatred. And people like me, I have started this whole channel as a mission to counter these kind of clowns. Because whenever they utter, you see even this Rambhadracharya और एक नमूना है रामभद्राचार्य, वो खुद को जगत गुरु, वो जगत गुरु रामभद्राचार्य. अब बोलते हैं हम शंकराचार्य को तो खंडन कर दिया हमने. आज तो रामानुजन शंकराचार्य क्लासमेट्स थे और उनमें उनमें शास्त्रार्थ हुआ और खंडन हो गया. शंकराचार्य खंडन कर दिया, इसने रामभद्राचार्य ने खंडन कर दिया. ये देख, you see the audacity of this stupid person. Now, this is the time we are living in, where we have to defend ourselves within Sanatana. That's a sad state. So I want to invoke what principles, the principles of RSS to unite the Hindus. They say put Vaishnavism outside the door, Shaivism outside the door. Be a Hindu. ये कट्टरपंथी से सनातन का भेद होता है. सनातन में तनाव आता है. When you hold on to this kind of radical views, at the end you will even have to dismiss your own parents. That situation also will come. You have to dismiss your own family. But that's not how it's supposed to be. So all we have to do is to work towards unity of Hinduism. And then Hinduism stands on Shastra Pramana. So talking in keeping with Pramana, with proof. So this is the beauty of Sanatana. ऐसा नहीं कि बकलोल करो, just bluff about historical events. ज्योतिर्लिंग 500 साल का है, क्या है, क्या बकलोल. वो बोलता है श्रीरंगम टेम्पल इज 1 crore years old. Which idiot will accept that? 1 crore टेम्पल में कोई स्ट्रक्चर खड़ता है क्या? क्या पागलपंती कर रहा है? ये स्टोन एज कब था? ये कब था जमाना? अर्ली मैन का जमाना कब था? क्या बात कर रहे हैं? 1 crore years to hide the fact that Ramanuja is the one who has done lot of problems regarding Srirangam. I have addressed that in other videos. So you both see, very sad to see that, and thank you, Siddharth, that you have addressed this with the proofs, and we have so many temples. And I also want you to talk about, he has even made one statement saying Shankar Sampradaya, Shankar Peeth तो विद्यारण्य से शुरू हुआ. ये बकलोल है. तो बोलता है विद्यारण्य स्टार्टेड शंकर पीठ से. देखो, हमको पता है कि स्वामी विद्यारण्य, just like Adi Shankaracharya, was one of the greatest Shankaracharyas.
Yeah.
After Adi Shankaracharya, किसी का बात होता है तो विद्यारण्य स्वामी का बात होता है. I want to invoke Swami Vidyaranya's grace today in this podcast, because Vidyaranya Swami was the one who has brought out a work called Anubhuti Prakash. That Anubhuti Prakasha giving access to people of all races to the vision of Shastra. So this is the greatness of Swami Vidyaranya. Irrespective of caste, creed, gender, he has given us his work. And another work of his also is very famous, Panchadashi. So this is the Dane of Vidyaranya Swami, and who has written Shankara Vijaya, Madhaviya Shankara Vijaya. तो उनके ऊपर उंगली उठा रहे हैं विद्यारण्य स्वामी के ऊपर. अगर विद्यारण्य स्वामी नहीं थे, आपका वैष्णव संप्रदाय आज धरती पे नहीं रहता. क्योंकि that was a time when Hinduism was dealing with Kattar Mughals.
Yeah.
And Vidyaranya Swami stood up to that. And even when the kings of this Vijayanagar Samrajya were taken away, fed beef, converted, He told the people of Vijayanagara to offer flowers when they return, even as Muslims, and say that we have not let you out of Hinduism. You are still Hindus. So this is Vidyaranya Swami. So that Vidyaranya Swami, you are accusing that he has lied, he has fabricated stories, and we know he is the Shankaracharya. So who has appointed Vidyaranya Swami as Shankaracharya? So there was a Shankaracharya before. So there was a Shankaracharya before. And like that, we have a list of 145 Shankaracharyas. And now,
Yes.
Siddharthi, I want you to show this whole thing to put an end to this kind of wild accusations by this Chinna Jiva.
So, like establishment of the Mathas by Adi Shankaracharya is a like very well-known fact. So I have not come across someone till today who will challenge it, not even the scholars or the historians or those people. Yeah, the timeline of Adi Shankaracharya ji's birth is somewhat debated, but still,
देखिए इधर इधर भी ना I want every sincere Hindu please refer to the works of Mr. P.N. Mishra ji. Mr. P.N. Mishra has been a pioneer in establishing Ram Janmabhoomi. That this was Ram Mandir. This was Ram Janmsthan. Idhar Mandir tha. He is the one who played a very important role in Supreme. He's a Supreme Court advocate, and he was the one who spearheaded this whole movement. And there's one clown called Nigaracharya who says P.N. Mishra galat hai. वो अलग वो और एक नमूना है. But P.N. Mishra ji and this Nigaracharya has run away from the debate, which when he was challenged by P.N. Mishra ji.
yeah,
So P.N. Mishra ji, I want people to listen why there is a confusion in the timeline. Confusion in the timeline is not pointing out two versions. Because here, as per Kanchi, the version is written by Anandagiri. And Anandagiri cannot be questioned. Here, the timeline, this whole history is written by Vidyaranya Swami. Obviously, cannot be questioned. Then, where comes the difference? Now, as per stories being different, now stories में क्या होता है अर्थवाद रहता है हर एक स्टोरी में रहता है कि जैसा हम मान लिए कि रामानुज का जीव समाधि श्रीरंगम मंदिर में है बट हम भी बोल सकते हैं कि हम नहीं मानते हैं क्यों मानना है
yeah,
कि रामानुज ने 120 साल जिया इसका कोई आधार ही नहीं है I want people to refer to the works of Dr. Professor R. Nagaswamy ji, a brilliant archaeologist who has fought cases in international courts to bring our ancient idols like Nataraja back to India from London museums. He has written a work, Ramanuja, Myth and Reality. I want people to refer to this work. So I always talk based on references, evidences, without which, हम में और चिन्ह जीवा में क्या फर्क रहेगा.
yeah.
So R. Nagaswamy clearly states that 120 years Ramanuja lived, there is no evidence. अभी evidence को कैसा निकालते हैं? So he being an archaeologist, R. Nagaswamy, he was no more. He just recently passed away. Recently means few years back. So he goes into the writings on the wall, the inscriptions, temples में inscriptions, and then राज्यों में inscriptions, or palaces में inscriptions, the ruins में inscriptions, पूरा निकाल के, and then matches with the Agamas, Thala Puranas, and so many references back and forth he goes. He says they never found a reference which proves that Ramanuja lived 120 years. ये रेफरेंस नहीं है कि रामानुज का चरित्र में ये बोलते हैं कि कृमिकंठ नाम का चोला राज था जो बोलता था कि he had a tiff with Ramanuja and Ramanuja was banished from this Chola kingdom and then he stayed in Srirangam. ये पूरा he says the whole thing is cooked up story. He says he has gone back to study the entire lineage of Cholas. There was no Chola king who had a problem with Ramanuja or who has sided with Shaiva. This Chola kings especially, they were very neutral. वो तो शैवों के भी पैसे देते हैं वही वैष्णवों के पैसे दिया उन्होंने कभी भी ऐसा साइडिंग करके ऐसा कर दिया एंड देन देयर इज नो historical evidence that Yadav Prakasha, the alleged guru of Ramanuja, has attacked Ramanuja along with his shishyas. Whereas in the history written Ramanuja story, they have written this that Yadav Prakasha comes to attack Ramanuja to kill him with his Shishyas. And then seeing some brilliance in Ramanuja, he bows to Ramanuja and converts as a Shishya. वो भी श्री वैष्णव बन गया, यादव प्रकाश बन गया श्री वैष्णव. No historical evidence. So do you want us to call out these shots? We can dedicate our life to proving all this because our predecessors have written all this, have done studies, and have passed. This is not going to help sustain Ramanuja Sampradaya. लोगों के रामानुज के ऊपर आस्था टूट जाएगा. हम कर सकते हैं. We have the age, we have the perseverance, and we have the time of our lives. We can dedicate this in order to protect truth. सत्यमेव जयते नानृतम, ये तो श्रुति वाक्य है.
Yeah.
अगर सत्य के लिए जान भी देना है तो देंगे, क्या बात है. But this is wrong. तो in stories there are अर्थवाद. There is glorification. Glorification में कभी कभी थोड़ा एडिशन होता है. And then as per which agama that a person can be buried in a temple. ये क्या है? सनातन धर्म में ये होता है? मम्मी है क्या? ये पिरामिड्स है क्या? मंदिर में दफनाओ, बोलो जीव समाधि है. ये कौन सा संप्रदाय है? ये तो सनातन धर्म में नहीं है, ये वेद विरुद्ध है. तो नो पर्सन इज बरीड इन द टेम्पल. वो तो तांत्रिक हो गया. Then they are doing some tantra based things, and that is not Vedic tantric. Vedic tantric पद्धति हो गया.
Yes.
So this is something, if you question, then हमारे उसमें कोई लोप नहीं है, तो आपका लोप पूरा ढूंढ के निकालेंगे. और आपका लोप तो है आप में, आपका पूरा स्टोरीज में लोप है. So this is what actual history is. So which they don't want us to know, and then they question our mathas. तो चार शंकर मठ है, और लोग बुद्धू है कि बोल रहे हैं कि शंकराचार्य गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया हैज रिकॉग्नाइज्ड. तो सो एज पर हिम, एज यू सेड, यू वाइजली सेड दिस पॉइंट. तो बताइए रिकॉग्निशन क्या है?
So one more point, which like I noticed this, when Ramanujacharya went to his guru Yadav Prakasha ji, so he had disagreements since the beginning about the teachings of the Upanishads. So if you are like you are a student and you are going to a guru and you are learning and you have the disagreements since the beginning, that means you haven't understood it and you are just want to argue with them. So that is one point. Another example is Madhusudan Saraswati ji. He went to a guru, Advait का खंडन करने के लिए. But he learned properly and then he became the part of Advaita Sampradaya. So you need to study for a length of time. Then only you can say. So they themselves say that he went to a guru and he started disagreeing immediately. So that does not show the commitment to learn, and then to even if you want to refute or say something, just you should learn for a few years time you should give, and then only you should do a khandan or anything.
एग्जैक्टली. एंड देन इसको स्टोरी को सपोर्ट करने के लिए बोलते थे कि आलवार थे, वो आलवार वो 7th सेंचुरी में मर गए. वो बोले कि रामानुजन नाम का एक लड़का आएगा, वो लड़का पूरा रिवाइव करेगा. ये सब बकवास. ये बकलोल किसको सुनना है? वो तो बकलोल ही है. कौन मानता है? बोला ऐसे वो उस जमाने में मर गया, बोले रामानुज आया. क्यों आएगा रामानुज? ये तो पढ़ा ही नहीं किया ठीक से यादव प्रकाश जी के पास. उसका वो गुरु को खंडन कर दिया. तो ये है अवतार है, आदिशेष का अवतार है. क्या बकलो. तो हमको बोलना पड़ेगा. सी ऑल दीज डेज हम चुप बैठे क्यों? वी आर ऑल वन एज हिंदूज. वी डोंट वांट टू टॉक अगेंस्ट आवर ओन. बट जब आवर ओन आ गया औकात पे, तो हमको भी बताना पड़ेगा कि क्या है. So as you said in our conversation that the government of India has recognized, not just बीजेपी वाला गवर्नमेंट, वो तो कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट में रिकॉग्नाइज किया. वो तो नेहरू का टाइम में भी रिकॉग्निशन था. तो शंकराचार्य जी का एक मर्यादा है, एक प्रोटोकॉल रहता है, जो किसी वैष्णव का कोई रामानुज का वो नहीं. वो शंकराचार्य का पद ही अलग है. And then what Shankaracharyas have done for Sanatana Dharma is just immeasurable. And then no one has a doubt that they have not established these mathas. And that's why government goes. Recently Amit Shah spoke in a meeting, said that if Shankaracharya was not there, then Badrinath Kai would have been not available to us.
Yeah.
सो बद्रीनाथ तो विष्णु जी का क्षेत्र है, उधर तो पद्धति हो रहा है, पंचरात्र के अनुसार नहीं हो रहा है ना। पूरी
Yeah.
जगन्नाथ में पंचरात्र के अनुसार हो रहा है क्या? तो दिस इज ऑल प्रोटेक्टेड बाय आवर हिंदूज, Hindu mathas, Shankara mathas, pithas. And then you are going against the Indian constitution, which recognizes Shankara pithas. You are going against Valmiki Ramayana, which talks about Rama worship in Rameshwar. You are going against Tulsidas, who says हरिहर में भेद नहीं करना चाहिए, और राम जी ने रामेश्वर में प्रतिष्ठा की शिवलिंग. And then you dismiss it to be a man-made temple of 500 years ago, and then you're saying Shankara mathas are not made by
Yeah.
Adi Shankara, and then Shankara never came back. ये बोल रहा है Shankara never came back. आपको कौन आके बताया? ये रामानुज आके बताया क्या स्वप्न में कि शंकर नहीं आया वापस? क्या है? आहे तो बात करता है. So this is what it is. So please go on and reveal the facts.
Yeah, so regarding the establishment of mathas, we don't even need to go in very deep. So there is a text called Mathamnaya Mahanushasanam, which is used by all the mathas as their guidebook, we can say, or as the text, authoritative text, which was written by Adi Shankaracharya. This is accepted by all the mathas, all the acharyas. So in that text, Adi Shankaracharya has mentioned about establishing four mathas, their duties. Each matha has its gotra, each matha has one Ved, each matha has one Mahavakya. So all these details are given. That is one point. Second point is Vidyaranya Swami himself has written a very authoritative biography of Adi Shankaracharya called Madhvi Shankara Digvijayam. In that, Vidyaranya Swami himself has written that the four mathas were established by Adi Shankaracharya. So that clearly refutes the accusations of this Chinnajiyar Swami that Vidyaranya Swami himself established the mathas. If he himself would have established, then why would he write otherwise in the biography of Adi Shankaracharya? One more thing is that Vidyaranya Swami became Shankaracharya in his later days, and there was already one Shankaracharya who was his brother earlier. So, if that Sringeri Peeth was not there, then how come he became a Shankaracharya is also a question. So, there was already a Shankaracharya in Sringeri Peeth, and then afterwards, Vidyaranya Swami became the Shankaracharya. So, like there are many such authentic information available. So I would like to point, so this Kanchi Kamakoti's website, they have given a lot of detail about uh, the establishment of the mathas from a different point of view. So they have mentioned several books and several sources. So yeah, this is like kamakoti.org. Here there is an entire chapter on monastic institution, mathas established by Sri Shankaracharya. And there are like references after references from several sources, books, and many books. Even books published in Nepal also have accepted that these mathas were established by Shankaracharya ji, because he has connection with Nepal as well. He went to Nepal once, as is told in a story, and then he debated with the Buddhists there. And one of the references from the government, one of the government ministries as well, that has accepted that four mathas were established by Adi Shankaracharya ji. Okay, this is like even German scholars have accepted this fact. So there are more and more. So if someone wants to dig deep into this, they can go to this website and then they can go to each and every reference provided in this, and then they can check.
Either
See,
I
the
forgot.
chronology of Nepal history also
Okay.
mentions this. So see, it mentions a good number of works by historians, scholars, some periodicals of repute, and the government records alike have uniformly pointed out to the Matha founded by Adi Shankaracharya in different sacred centers of our country. So, if we want to go in detail, there are a lot of material, but I don't think that is necessary, like, because
देखिए इधर the main thing is I went off track. I want people to refer. The whole conflict is because of two different timelines. एक कंची द्वारका and पूरी पीठ का सबका टाइमलाइन थोड़ा अलग है एंड श्रृंगेरी का टाइमलाइन अलग है. Now it is P.N. Mishra ji who has resolved this issue, who has clearly said that देखिए हिंदू कैलेंडर के अनुसार एक टाइमलाइन चलते आ रहा है. इंग्लिश कैलेंडर के अनुसार वी आर लिविंग इन 2026. अभी 2026 is not as per the Vaidika calendar, right?
yeah,
As per Vaidika calendar, the Samvatsar is different. And then every year, the Samvatsar, there's a different name and there's a different year going on. Now, when this Shankara Vijayam, written by Vidyaranya Swami, has been translated in English, ये गड़बड़ पूरा उधर उत्पन्न हुआ है. क्योंकि जब ये इंग्लिश में ट्रांसलेट कर रहे थे वो डेट को लिटरली वो कोरिलेट कर दिया 7th सेंचुरी. नाउ ये कोरिलेशन से ये उत्पन्न हो गया कि ये 7th सेंचुरी क्या है एंड देयर इज अ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट बिटवीन ऑल मठास. सो एवरीवन हैज देयर ओन वर्जन. नो, everyone doesn't have their own version. All pithas are in line. For everyone, Shankara is Jagat Guru Adi Shankaracharya. He has not created Advaita Sampradaya. Shankaracharya's Guru is Govindapadacharya. Unke Guru is Gaudapadacharya. Everyone gained this knowledge from Shruti. Shruti is a pramana. Unlike many other sectarian sampradayas, Nav Sampradayas, for us, even Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya or Dvaita Sampradaya is a Nav Sampradaya because they are born because of their acharyas. Because of
yeah,
Ramanujacharya or Madhvacharya, they are born at that time. But this is a sampradaya which has been going on, which is an Upanishad based tradition, which is for people who are not interested in dharma artha kama, whose purushartha is moksha, and who dedicate their life to this moksha purushartha by taking sannyasa. The shastra is Upanishads. Unlike any other द्वैत बोलो, त्रैत बोलो, विशिष्टाद्वैत बोलो, भेदाभेद बोलो, अचिंत्य भेदाभेद बोलो, किसी भी बोलो, उधर they don't consider Shruti, which is specifically Upanishad, to be their praman. अभी इधर चॉइस नहीं कि हम उपनिषद को लेंगे, आप पद्म पुराण लो, आप भागवत पुराण लो, ऐसा नहीं. एक मूल प्रमाण होता है और मूल प्रमाण में विभाग है, कर्म विभाग है, ज्ञान विभाग है. If you are not able to digest that vibhaga, if you think the whole shastra is for karma, that is your problem. This is what Jagadguru Adi Shankara said to Karmathas during his time. ये विभाग वचन समझना है. सबको एक ही नहीं चाहिए जिंदगी में. Everyone is not at the same stage in life. So coming back, P.N. Mishra ji has clarified this. ये पूरा गड़बड़ correlation का गड़बड़ है. संस्कृत
yeah,
से इंग्लिश में जब ला रहे हैं कोरिलेशन का गड़बड़ है. इसमें कोई आपत्ति नहीं है कि everyone has the version. No, we are all having the same version. And Adi Shankaracharya ji had set up 4 mathas and then he left. ऐसा नहीं कि वो गए फिर नहीं आए. 32 years is all bogus, propagated by this is a so-called Sri Vaishnava, fake Sri Vaishnava guy. So I want people, Hindus, sincere Hindus, to refer to P.N. Mishra ji. He's the one who fought for Ram Mandir. He's not a Shaiva. He's not a Shaiva or a Vaishnav Deshi. He's the one who's neutral, who fought for Ram Mandir. Ram is the Astha for all Hindus. And then please refer to his works. And please understand how Matanushasana works, how Matamnaya, how this Matamnaya is there, what is the tradition of it, what are the rules they are governed with, how they function, what is their role in society, what is their contribution in society, what is the role of Vidyaranya, what is the role of Adi Shankara. Please refer and find out. And I'm sure that all Vaishnavacharyas unanimously agree, even in spite of the Siddhanta difference, that without Shankaracharya, there would be no Sanatana Dharma.
yes, yeah,
There is no conflict with any sampradaya. So everyone has a soft spot for Shankaracharya. And then because of that, we don't open our mouth abusing people. But if that is taken as a lenience and people start cooking up things that we have defeated Shankara, this and then talk ill about Jagat Guru, talk ill about the mathas, then we voice up, we voice out. And then हम जब खंडन करना स्टार्ट करते कि हमको नहीं रोक सकते, हमको रामानुज खुद आके उनका भाष्य को जलाना पड़ेगा कि हमको रोकने के लिए, तो हम तो रुकेंगे नहीं. And I would even like to say one more story. There's a there's a there's a there's a story that Shankaracharya had visited Tirupati and set up a Sri Chakra there. ये लोगों में आस्था है, जैसा कि आप में आस्था है कि रामानुजा is in a जीव समाधि. So Ramanuja's dead body is there in a temple, which is Avaidhi, which is not as per even Pancharatra Agama doesn't allow that. देवालय में कभी भी श्मशान नहीं रख सकते हैं. But you have done that. And you're saying Ramanuja is there. I don't think Ramanuja is there, but you're saying Ramanuja is there. So ऐसे ही एक फोक स्टोरी है कि शंकराचार्य जी ने श्री चक्र स्थापित किया. ये टीटीडी का वेबसाइट, ऑफिशियल वेबसाइट ऑफ तिरुमल तिरुपति देवस्थान says, if you have issue, please go deal with them. This has become one big thing for other buffoons. So it's the same संप्रदाय में बफून लोग बहुत हैं. ये बफून लोग इतना है कि खुद ये नया शंकराचार्य जी जो है तो उनका खंडन करने में लगे, भारतीय तीर्थ स्वामी का खंडन कर रहे हैं. तो बोल रहे हैं कि इनका कुछ स्टेटस नहीं है, इनको इन्होंने पढ़ा भी नहीं. These idiots do courses in संस्कृत भारती स्पोकन संस्कृत पढ़ लेते हैं और उनको पता है कि पूरा शास्त्र, पूरा वेदों पे अधिकार आ गया. ये पंगनामम लगा कि इनको वेद का अधिकार सोचते हैं. ये पंगनामम वेद का अधिकार नहीं देता है आपको. पंगनामम is a culture, is a sectarian culture symbol that doesn't. And Sanskrit Bharati teaches spoken Sanskrit. Just because you are good in spoken Sanskrit, that means nothing. तो हमको शंकराचार्य जी को याद करना पड़ रहा है कि शंकराचार्य जी says in मुंडक भाष्य, सर्वशास्त्र विदपि, even if you are good in व्याकरण, so spoken Sanskrit छोड़ो, व्याकरण भी पता है आपको, बट आपके पास गुरु नहीं है, आपके पास संप्रदाय नहीं है, आपने रामानुज का भी पढ़ा नहीं है, then सर्वशास्त्र विदपि असंप्रदाय विद मूर्खवद उपेक्षणीय. इसको हम बफू नहीं मानेंगे, ये तो मूर्ख ही है. अगर बिना गुरु के पास शरण लेके, बिना गुरुकुल वास के, बिना गुरु के पास समय बिताए, बस संस्कृत भारती का कोर्स करके और संस्कृत भारती इज एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन सेट अप बाय आरएसएस. ये हिंदुओं की ऐक्यता के लिए बना है. इट इज नॉट देयर टू गिव यू स्पोकन संस्कृत एंड टॉक bullshit about Shankaracharya.
Yeah.
So you see how people flare up their wrong side, justify using panganamams, justify using culture, and then spread hatred. It's a sad state. So Siddharthi, can you please show the list of Shankaracharyas till date?
Yeah. So I was just mentioning about this thing. So there is a book called Contribution of the South to the Heritage of India, published by Ministry of Information, Government of India. In this, it has said that Shankara set up monastical institutions to safeguard the spiritual interests of the race. Of these, 5 are most important. So they include Kanchi as well. To 4.
So now Chinnajiyar has to be put as in charge, and he should correct all this, right?
This is Government of India's book, yeah.
तो उसको सिखाना पड़ेगा अभी.
So yeah, this is Govardhan Mutt Puri Peeth's website. So they have given the list of all the acharyas, starting from first one, which is Anantashri Padmapad. And they have also given the dates, like corresponding BCE CE date is from 484 to 459 was the first acharya of the Peeth. And since this is an unbroken lineage till now, till date, so all the acharyas have been mentioned and their duration is mentioned here. So
as this list begins with Padmapad Acharya, Jagat Guru Padmapad Acharya, the same thing will be Sringeri ke liye Sureshwar Acharya.
Sureshwar Acharya, yes. Yeah. So You go down, so this will go to the 145th Acharya is the current Shankaracharya ji. So Anantashri Nischalanand Saraswati ji Maharaj. So he became Shankaracharya in 1992. So this is like unbroken lineage. Not even a single day has passed where the Acharya was not there in this speech. So
And this is a verified manuscripts which are available in the mutts.
yes,
If anyone wants to go, please go to the mutts, take references. These are all verified things. So this is what Shankara Sampradaya is. एक 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 पत्थर फेंकने से हमारा कुछ नहीं बिगड़ेगा, बट वो पत्थर हम वो 10 गुना आपके संप्रदाय के ऊपर लगेगा. तो वी डोंट वांट दिस काइंड ऑफ संप्रदाय फाइट्स. So even now, even now we can act in a matured way. And if there is some siddhant ke anusar refutation, please go ahead, but not this kind of a thing. What Chinnajiva is doing.
yeah. And even the Kanchi Peeth has given the list of all the Shankaracharyas. Even Kanchi Peeth has the manuscripts, they say, which records the date and the names of all the acharyas. So this list also, this is also an unbroken lineage till now. And if you go down, it comes to the current acharya of the Kanchi Peeth. So if you add all these acharyas duration, it comes to 509 BC, which is
Okay.
the date of birth of Adi
See,
Shankaracharya.
अगर थोड़ी देर के लिए हम ये मान भी लेते हैं कि शंकराचार्य जी 7th century के, as per Sringeri's rule, there is no harm. What is the harm? अभी डेट में गलत हो सकता है, डेट में इधर उधर हो सकता है, बट शंकराचार्य जी हिंदुओं का और भारत देश का जगत गुरु है, हमारे जगत गुरु है. ये तो भारत देश का कोने कोने, हर एक कोने में लोगों को पता है. There may be some discrepancy, like this Chinnajiyar only. We'll ask him, do you remember when your great grandfather was born? Abhi his great grandfather ka son, like his father's cousin, brother, first cousin, second cousin, will have a different version.
Yeah.
वो बोलते हैं कि सुबह पैदा हुआ, और एक बोलेगा रात में पैदा हुआ. किसको मालूम ग्रेट ग्रैंडफादर कब पैदा हुआ, सुबह में पैदा हुआ कि रात में पैदा हुआ, या था कि नहीं था ग्रेट ग्रैंडफादर. अगर नहीं था तो चिन्नजियर नहीं दिखेगा, तो चिन्नजियर दिख रहा है तो उसका ग्रेट ग्रैंडफादर तो रहेगा. तो उसको बताओ, बोलो कब था उसका ग्रेट ग्रैंडफादर, पता है क्या? So this kind of a historical, this argument is a very weak argument. Just to say, oh, date में discrepancy है, तो क्या हो गया? आस्था में तो discrepancy थोड़ी है. लोग थोड़ी सोच रहे हैं कि शंकराचार्य जी नहीं थे, या शंकर पीठ को शंकराचार्य ने स्थापित नहीं किया. लोगों को इतना एक मात्र भी उसमें संशय नहीं है. अगर आप उत्पन्न करना भी चाहे तो वो नहीं होगा. So people will laugh at you, humans, as in Chinnajiyar and such kind of people who subscribe to this idea.
So yeah, one more thing I forgot to mention. So in the Chhattisgarh, the current Chhattisgarh area, there was a Kalachuri kingdom. So there is a proper inscription which is found from that Kalachuri era around 1100 ke time ka. So that century, the grant was given to build a Panchayatan temple. So that inscription clearly mentions that. So which is 100 years before Vidyaranya Swami was born.
And before Ramanuja.
No, I think it will be
same time of
after.
Ramanuja.
हाँ, same time or
Tafkal.
maybe after Ramanuja. But Vidyaranya Swami के तो पहले है. So
Yeah.
Panchayatana temple का grant है, and then temple was built. And
Yeah.
that inscription is like well preserved and available. That's called Koni inscription of Kalachuri.
देखिए.
Koni inscription में that thing is there. Now one more thing is there. I found out कि the Dwaraka Peeth of Gujarat had one inscription from the King Sudhanva regarding the grant of land for establishing the Matha. So King Sudhanva is known as the contemporary of Adi Shankaracharya ji, and he also helped Adi Shankaracharya ji for propagating the Sanatana Dharma. But the thing is, Dwarka Peeth says that that inscription was taken away by them by the government of India during British time. So there was a British archaeological officer, the head of that ASI, who took that copper inscription. But now, where is that inscription? Those are things are not known. So that is one thing like people should request ASI to investigate in that matter, because that may be in England as well.
Yeah,
They might have taken that inscription. And one more thing is there, that the Britishers always had this tendency to put every prominent figure after Jesus Christ. So everyone happened
exactly.
after Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
perfect.
So if that copper inscription is available, they will never show it in public. So they would have hidden it.
नहीं ये पूरा डेटिंग ना इन लोग ये हिस्टोरिक दिस क्रिश्चियन मिशनरी हिस्टोरियंस दीज पीपल हैव डन द होल डेटिंग थिंग एंड दे मेड श्योर एवरीवन इज विद इन द like post BC only.
Yeah,
पोस्ट like everyone is after Christ only.
after 80 years.
तो सब लोगों का ना 0 से 7th सेंचुरी या 6th सेंचुरी 8th सेंचुरी सब लोगों को इसमें ही एडजस्ट करना है. तो मे बी दे आर बीइंग वेरी काइंड टू अस, सो दे आर बीइंग जनरस टू अस. तो उनका भी प्रोपेगेंडा है. सो देयर बहुत कुछ फैक्टर्स आर प्लेइंग अ रोल. सी इंडिया हैज बीन, there have been so many invasions in India, and in spite of that we are surviving today is a blessing of these kind of Mahatmas of our Sanatan Dharma. Not just traditional Mahatmas, but also modern Mahatmas like Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, who is
Yes.
fondly called as Thakur. So what Thakur has done, what Swami Vivekananda has done, what Ramakrishna Math has done, what Shivananda has done, what Chinmananda has done, what Swami Dayananda ji, Swami Dayananda Saraswati ji of our Ashavidya Sampradaya have done. It's just immeasurable for Sanatan Dharma to stand today. So we recall all these great Mahatmas and we invoke their blessings and for sustenance of this Dharma here on, in spite of these kind of ill-intended fights by our own immature heads. So in spite of that, we pray to these Mahatmas, to Bhagavan, that we want Sanatana Dharma to go ahead strong. So I think there's a good point we can conclude our session today. And this needs to be this elaborate because we want to put so much in one podcast. And
Yeah.
I thank you, Siddharthi, for pointing out so many references. I think you had a tough time doing your homework, and then just amazing. And then we require people like you who can uh, who can answer with proofs. So talking with proofs is not recognized nowadays, sadly. You know, but times will change, and then because people start to when people start to think, then I don't think belief becomes dominant in their life. Then they'll start to reason, and when you reason things, then that's when the right attitude, viveka, will show you the right path, and then obviously with Lord's grace.
Yep. Thank you so
So,
much.
any last words, Siddharthi?
Yeah, so one last thing, that Smarta actually is known as a Sampradaya these days, but Smarta people are those who are committed to the Shruti Pramana. So there is a Nyaya called Nahi Ninda Nyaya, which is famous in Smarta. So we do not hate or we do not reject any deity, because nothing is non-separate from the absolute Brahman. So we cannot hate or we cannot like as such any deity. And second thing is that Smarta people are like that. Ki if I have understood some Shruti Pramana incorrectly and some guru comes and he explains, no, this is that way. So whatever Shruti Pramana is, we will accept. We will not hold on to our personal view that no, I have understood it in this way. So that is only true. And then go back and then reinterpret the Shruti according to our way. That is not something which Smarta people do. So that is how like Sanatan Dharma was. We are committed to Shruti. Shruti is saying whatever Shruti is saying, we are accepting it. If we misunderstood, we will correct ourselves. We will not go back and correct Shruti Pramana.
This is a very important clarity which you have given because श्रुति और वैदिक ये ब्राह्मणों को ऐसा बोला जाता है कि ये श्रौत है, ये वैदिक है और ये स्मार्त है. ये ऐसा नहीं कि स्मार्त है तो वो ब्राह्मण कम हो गया. तो स्मार्त है, स्मार्त भी श्रुति अनुसार ही है ना. स्मृति स्मृति इज नॉट हैविंग इट्स ओन विजन. सो श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम आलयम करुणालयम नमामि भगवत पादम शंकरम लोकशंकरम. तो हमको धर्म पता चलता है या प्रवृत्ति लक्षण धर्म, निवृत्ति लक्षण धर्म, ये धर्म जो वेदोक्त है. वेदोक्त द्विविध धर्म वेदोक्त है, प्रवृत्ति और निवृत्ति दोनों हमको श्रुति स्मृति पुराण से पता चलता है. तो ये श्रौत स्मार्त, तो दोनों कर्म वैदिक कर्म ही कहलाता है. सो स्मार्त कर्म ही वैदिक कर्म है, जैसा संध्यावन. ये पंचायतन पूजा, ये वैदिक ही कहलाता है। इसको हम ये नहीं बोल सकते कि अवैदिक है, ये नहीं बोल सकते। But you will be surprised to know that Chinnajir and his clan outright, I'll give you the Facebook handles with proofs, outright abuse Marthas. They abuse Marthas, like using unparliamentary language. कौन? जो पंगनामम लगा के, पूरा शरीर में पंगनामम लगा के ये भाषा का प्रयोग है, बोलता है तुम लोग स्मार्ट है। स्मार्ट एक गाली है, वैदिक एक गाली है उनके लिए। तो आप कौन है? अगर आप दूसरे को वैदिक है तो तू स्मार्ट है ये सा निंदा कर रहे हैं, तो आप कौन है? आप अवैदिक है ना? तो स्मार्ट इज नॉट अ गाली, वैदिक इज नॉट अ गाली। So people are following Vedas, you abuse them, you're Vedic, and then you accuse them of not being Pancharatri. So Pancharatram is Avedikam. So we have to say that because you abuse Smartas, you abuse Vedic people, you abuse Shaivas. So we have to voice out. Otherwise we don't voice out. हमको क्या खुजली पड़ी है कि आपको अवैधिक प्रूव करने के लिए?
Yeah.
So there's a problem. So in Facebook you see the hate on Smarta women. These people abuse Smarta women and accuse them of character and then point out the character. ये बात हो रहा है फेसबुक में, आज का दिन में हो रहा है. And these fellows are the ones who are appointed by Chinnajir. This is a sad state. This is a sad trend Chinnajir has set, and then which will be stopped.
Yeah, so
We
even
pray
we
to
see,
Bhagwan that this kind of evil force that has to be taken care of. And we will do whatever we can as per our Shakti. But we want Bhagwan to take care of this kind of evil force.
yeah, so even we see the ISKCON's founder, Srila Prabhupada, he has used curse words for Swami Vivekananda. He has used those words for Mahatma Gandhi as well, openly.
Yeah. Both we find these kind of problematic people in
So even
society.
his Shishyas will use the same kind of words.
हाँ जी, वो तो स्मार्ट को कन्वर्ट कर देता वो। वो बोलेगा तेरे को नहीं पता है, ऐसा करना है, माला ऐसा पकड़ना है, ऐसा ऐसा घुमाना है, तो वो बताएगा स्मार्ट को। तो हमारे पूर्वज जो किया था पूरा गलत किया था सिद्धार्थ जी।
Yeah.
ऐसा वो पद्धति गलत है, वैदिक पद्धति है वो। तो ऐसा है। सो फनी टाइम्स। एनीवेज, so
Yeah.
thank you very much, Siddharji.
Yeah, thank you so much,
It was
Guruji,
a
for
very
inviting me,
wonderful session. Yeah,
providing me an opportunity to explain.
any day. Thank you. Namaste.
Yep, thank you so much. Namaste.